dream to see that I'll never be.
When Leo Fender conceived the guitar that we all know now as the Telecaster, he probably couldn't imagine how that would have affected the world. The Fender Telecaster has been in production for over 70 years, proving the goodness of the original design and making the history of music. And in this video I want to talk to you about this guitar and this model that I own. Hi all, this is Luca speaking and this is my 2020 Fender Telecaster. It's a Vintera 50s Road Worn, and this was a special run by Andertons with a custom color and custom shop pickups. And I had always been a sort of a humbucker kind of player, but in the last years I became attracted to the single coil sound. Based on the music that I listened to and the videos that I saw on YouTube. So the Telecaster was the first guitar that came to my mind when talking about single coils. And my story with it dates back to when I was a teenager. I played bass at the time, and one of the guitarists in one of the bands that I played in had a Telecaster. At the time I thought it looked strange. For some reason I couldn't stand the visuals of the neck pickup, and the other guitarist in the band who played the Stratocaster seemed much more rock and roll. But in time I have begun to appreciate the Telecaster, and I have fallen in love with it, because yes, it's not so comfortable, yes, it looks simple, but it always stays in tune. It has a characteristic twang, and the way the strings, the bridge, the pickup placement were conceived, they all contribute to create its character. This guitar has character. It is rock. It has a clear and powerful tone that fits every musical genre. And it has been played by hundreds of great musicians in the last 70 years. The Telecaster was the first solid body guitar, electric guitar, to be mass produced, and it was born in 1950 as Broadcaster, but Fender had to change the name to avoid legal issues with Gretsch, that at the time had in catalog a product with a similar name. I wanted the 50s since I wanted something as close as possible to the original specs, and the Vintera series by Fender, that has recently released version 2 of this line, aims to provide to guitar players instruments that embed vintage specs. In this case we have older body with strings passing through it, a maple neck and fingerboard with 21 vintage tall frets. A slim U-shaped neck that is not so slim. At first it is very baseball bat-like, but I honestly feel it like the most comfortable neck I've ever played. And you can also see the skunk stripe here in the back, where you also find the 4 bolts neck plate. 7.25-inch radius, another vintage feature, as well as the vintage style tuners, a synthetic bone nut, not so vintage, an ashtray bridge with 3 brass barrel saddles, 2 pickups with tone, volume, and a 3-position blade that allows you to switch from neck to bridge and both pickups in parallel. And this guitar has a faded metallic purple color. It originally came with a 3-ply parchment pickguard that I replaced with this anodized gold, and I kept the 942 gauges strings that it shipped with it, and with the gig bag. By the way, while we're talking about the Telecaster and this specific Road Worn model, why don't you give a like to this video if you're finding it interesting, and why don't you subscribe to the channel to show your support? Thank you in advance. This is a special run. It comes with custom shop no caster pickup in the bridge and a twisted Tele on the neck. And finally, it has a nitrocellulose lacquer finish, and this gives the guitar another vintage spec and also a wonderful feeling. I have a couple of Epiphone guitars and I've played some Fenders in polyurethane finish, and personally I'm not a fan of the feeling you get from those guitars. I'm not a nitro snob. I simply prefer the feeling I got from nitrocellulose when I touch the guitar. The guitar will also age in time, and being a road worn, it means that it comes with a little relic job that resembles years of use. I know that there is a debate between those who like relic finishes and those who consider them nonsense. I personally like it a lot. It's just like having another color option that includes some cracks in the paint. Last note, maple necks and fretboards are generally coated. That means there is a layer on top that preserves the wood, but that to me feels a little plastic and unnatural. My 5-string SAR bass has that type of neck, while the neck on this guitar is uncoated, as well as the fretboard, so there is a very little tiny lacquer coating maybe, but you can feel the wood. The neck is very fast, it's not sticky at all, and I think this is a very big plus. What fascinates me about the Telecaster is that it is as simple as you get. When Leo Fender designed it, he had simplicity and pragmatism in mind. So the body is a piece of wood with no frills, no contours. The neck, as we said, is bolt-on, and the electronics are easy to access and replace. And holding it in your hands, you feel like it is built like a tank and it could survive every battle. And if anything occurs to some parts of it, for example, the neck gets damaged, you can easily replacing it by unscrewing and screwing. So Leo Fender had this in mind, to make life easier for guitarists. And how does it sound? Well, the Telecaster is, in my opinion, one of the most versatile guitars you can find. You have some sound clips in this video, and if you want the full range of sounds, you can check out my video of the MV50 Boutique, and also the video of my Pro Junior 4, where I tested the sounds of the different pickups. So the Vintera series are manufactured in Mexico, and there is a lot of debate about quality and supposed low budget feel for non-US models. My experience is very limited, but I can tell you that at least for this model here, you get a lot for its price. That is around $1,100. Neck and frets were perfect out of the box. The neck is perfectly matched to the body, and the action can be set pretty low, and the guitar resonates a lot. And as I already said, it always stays in tune, and you know, you have the feeling from the nitro finish that is a dream. I honestly don't care if the labor cost to produce this guitar was lower than other guitars in the Fender lineup, like the American Performer that has a comparable cost. Full disclosure here, out of the box this wasn't perfect. There was one thing that was not okay, the nut. And specifically the A string had a buzz sound due to the fact that the slot here was not properly cut. I invested some 10-20 euros to have it fixed by a luthier together with the whole setup, but you know, apart from that, the guitar was okay. So, do I recommend this guitar? Yes, without hesitation. I think you can still find it new, available online, and you will get an outstanding guitar with great features. Plus, it's a Telecaster. It will fit almost every genre. It will last you a lifetime, and you'll probably fall in love with its design too. I hope you found this video interesting and useful, and if so, remember to give it a like and subscribe, and see you here soon for the next videos.